just in case you guys have not had enough of me yet today, I will be streaming GR8B8M8 versus Team 10 now. Let me just grab the link real quick so I can put it in league chat. Alright. And my spectator client did work for that last game between Team 11 versus Team 12, the most creative of teams in the tournament. Creative names of teams in the tournament. Now I am glad that Nightcrawler given his Ganked by Mom friend a shout out, naming it GBM, GR8B8M8, for his friend named GBM. I don't actually know how they did in that game. Are you here? Oh yeah, I'm ready, sorry. Sorry about that. Coin flip, I'm heads. Alright. Coin flip. Do it on stream so everyone sees it. Flipping, and it's tails. GG Nori. Sorry, Nightcrawler, but looks like everyone's gonna be swapping sides real quick before we get into the actual match. GR8B8M8. He got mad at me last time I didn't type it with full caps, so. Alrighty. I think at this point people are probably getting tired, so I'll just do it for the sake of a VOD and to get a little more experience myself with the strategies of the tournament, how each team seems to be playing out. I don't actually know how GR8B8M8 play, or how GR8B8M8 played earlier today. Jeez, that's a tongue twister. So I can look it up real quick. Wait. Nightcrawler is not gold 5. I think this is lying to me right now. A little bit fishy. Let's try this. Ah, gee. You know what? I give up. It was a nice try, everybody, but I guess we'll just never know how the other game went. Just kidding, we can still look it up. Alright, so Fiora and Tom Catch being banned for the blue side. Very standard ban because Fiora, much like Gangplank, is a champion that can completely take over a game with just with her pure damage and ability to duel in the late stages of a game. And it looks like GR8B8M8 actually lost the game earlier today against, what was that? Team Bank of America, I believe. So they are banning the Vayne. It has to be a target ban because, I mean, Vayne's decent in this meta, but there's still 80 carries like Callista or Tristana that are favored in pretty much all situations. Almost all situations. And even if you want to go for that endgame damage, there's little reason to pick Vayne over Kog'Maw, except for player comfort and if you want to do some 1v1 duels. But in a team setting, you really don't want to be looking for situations where your 80 carry is getting 1v1. So yeah, we'll see. Alright, sorry. They're hovering the Yasuo Bard. I'm not sure how I feel about those. Kind of dangerous to go for that. Bard does apply a lot of a lot of pressure just because his meeps give him bonus auto attack damage, and his Cosmic Binding has a pretty low cooldown once it gets to higher ranks. And go for the Gragas, which I like better as a first pick, but I might want to see something with a little more priority, like an Elise getting grabbed up. Because Elise is actually scarier in the early game and does have more kill pressure, but Gragas does offer much better primary engage. Alright, but anyways, going back to this, the Mordekaiser is left open. Now, Mordekaiser is a champion that a lot of people ban because it is really strong when you build a composition around it with really hard engage and lockdown. But it's a matter of, does your team actually know how to play it or not? Because it is a really unique approach to the game when you don't have that siege. So you really want to be able to get an advantage at level 6 where you have really high kill pressure against the enemy AD carry, so you can gank that bottom lane and then transition that into an early dragon. And if you're not able to get those early dragons and the early kill lead from diving the turret because you have a level 6 advantage earlier in the game, it becomes really difficult for Mordekaiser to follow through. And especially when you're playing against Bard, who is a champion that has really, really low cooldown peel with that Cosmic Binding. Even if it doesn't hit 2 things to stun, you can still use it for that slow. So this blue side is really gonna... this bottom lane really has to do well for the blue team for them to be able to carry this game. But that being said, I really like the picks so far to achieve that goal, where you have the Gangplank, which will... Gangplank's just good overall. He doesn't have as much pressure in the... he doesn't have as much lane pressure, but he will hit level 6 around the same time Mordekaiser will, so he can even contribute to a level 6 all-in engage with his Cannon Barrage. And if you pick a really strong engage support like Nautilus, that might be exactly what you need to get this composition off the ground and rolling. Now, Ganked by Bomb does instantly lock in that Ahri. I believe that was actually a champion that was banned against him earlier today. So I'm a little curious to see how that works out. Speaking of curious things, I don't know what that Darius hovers about for Brodog. Leona's fine with the Nautilus as well. I mean, she does have pretty much as hard engage as Nautilus. It's just a little harder to land because you have to aim the Solar Flare and the Zenith Blade, as opposed to Nautilus, where the enemy has a little bit of time to reposition when you use the Depth Charge ultimate, or they can even dodge your Dredge Line hook. Also, Nautilus has a little bit better time peeling just because you can all of your autos root, and you can use the E to slow down the enemy at a distance. But if they are going for this lane, I really want Ninja Labib to grab the Ignite, because Mordekaiser lanes are all about the kills. And an insta-lock Darius for the Nightcrawler. He wants to put some pressure on ZX Madness, and especially with the entirety of blue team really looking toward that bottom lane and snowballing that lane. If Darius gets left alone and gets to become a problem, all of blue team is going to be in melee range of him, and he's going to be able to completely sweep through teams. If you are looking for a game in which a Darius might get a pentakill, this might just be the game. Because the way that the new reworked passive works, once you get an execute on somebody, or once you get a kill or assist, I believe, on somebody, all of your next subsequent autos and decimates apply full 5 stacks, so you can just be bouncing in the air, dunking every target every which way. And yeah, looks like we will be getting into game now. I'm really glad I grabbed that Gatorade because I've been talking for several hours now. It has helped my throat relax a little bit. Bard does go for the exhaust, which I think is actually not too bad. A lot of times I prefer Ignite over exhaust on supports, and it actually is important to note that Leona with the Ignite and Mordekaiser grab the exhaust. So he's not going to have the heal summoner spell, but his W will heal him a little bit in the middle of the fight. Anyways, because the purple team really wants to be able to kite blue side, having that exhaust actually will help them significantly against the Mordekaiser, because also for Mordekaiser to really deal maximum damage, you need to land all three of your autos, and if you're exhausted, you just simply cannot do that. Also important to note that we're not really sure which champion is going to which lane. Gangplank works a little bit better in the top lane for a couple reasons. So I think it'll probably be Malphite mid, and then Malphite might just want to walk bottom lane and get kills with his ultimate. But it's still possible for ZX Madness to rotate into that mid side. And Ganked by Mom did not answer that with the teleport of his own, so he really wants to be looking for kills. And Malphite is obviously a really tanky and safer champion, but one of the main problems in his laning phase is that he constantly runs Zoom. So if Arya is able to outlast him, then she will have a lot of pressure in this lane. And Brodog saying, obviously this is a Gangplank support. I'm sorry, buddy, you're right. The mid lane is clearly Leona. Why else would she take Ignite? Yeah, then the reason why Gangplank is not quite as good in the mid lane as top lane is because obviously as Gangplank you don't want people to be hitting your barrels before you can detonate them, and when you're in the side lane you can use the brushes to set them up pretty safely. They'll have to face check that to be able to deny them, whereas in the mid lane the bushes on the sides of the lane are much farther away. You actually have to use 2 barrels to connect it all the way to the minions as opposed to just the one. So that's primarily why you want to see that. Also, he's a pretty slippery champion nowadays, and in the mid lane it really caters to people who are not able to get out quite as quickly. But anyways, we'll see where these guys go. We're about to get into the loading screen, and hopefully, maybe this is just something with the Nightcrawler, but hopefully League of Legends client does not crash for too long. Is this a best of 5? No, it is not. This is, why does it say video captures on? I already have video capture on Twitch. But, yeah, this is still best of 1. The Nightcrawler and friends did play earlier today against Bank of America, and they lost. But they, I actually hear the game music already. I don't know if that was just the fastest loading speed in the history of the North American servers, or something's going weird. But yeah, this is still the first week of group stage for the Capital One circuit. GR8B8M8 versus Team 10. Let's get into the game. And one thing I'm really sad about... Oh my gosh, this team is almost perfectly aligned, except for Leona and Mordekaiser. Hold on, let me just swap these friends around. Okie dokie. I did not get to see the skin, so we can look at them manually. We have Popstar R8 and, ooh, Dunkmaster Darius. Always nice. Hillbilly Gragas going to be stinking up his team a little bit. And Tristana has white hair, so that's kind of cool. On the other side, well, actually, they look like they might be going for a level 1 invade, but Gragas is not on the same page. Did Elise know? Okay, she does get spotted out, but the rest of the team is already here for blue side, and Darius gonna land a 3-man decimate, but everyone just backs off, all in good humor. They can still put down some wards, because if you put your trinket down before the 1 minute mark, the 120-second cooldown means that it'll come back up at 3 minutes, which is pretty much exactly the time period when the jungler can begin ganking. Now, even though the blue side is really focused around getting this bottom lane ahead, it would appear that the Elise is still starting on down here. We saw in one game earlier today, I believe, actually, it might have been in both games, but the red side junglers was starting in the top lane with the Krugs. and getting that level 2 on their top laner on that side of the map, so that they can get a level 3 gank off on the bottom lane. But does not look like it'll be happening. They could still obviously roam down there, but it would take much longer. It does look like Gangplank will be in the mid lane, so we'll see if Ahri is able to deny the barrels. But this is a matchup that Gangplank Bomb probably isn't used to. He might have played that in the top lane before, but ZX, man, is just going to be continuing to try to poke her with, oh man, with the parlays. He actually gets pretty chunked out there because a lot of orbs of deception landing onto her lane counterpart means that he's going to be getting kind of low. Luckily, he does have the flask and triple potion build. But oh my gosh, they continue to keep landing in. Speedy Turtle, Psycho Bear getting some nice distance. They need to watch out for an early level 1 because Mordekaiser is able to start double Targons with his support. That means they almost always get level 2 first. But actually, I think Red Side bottom lane did the Grob, so they're actually the first one to hit level 2, which is huge in this lane. And look at that, when Leona gets the Zenith Blade, their Brodog is still farming minions, so he isn't even able to follow up. That means that look at this damage. Darius still has 5 stacks already. This Walker's gonna go down. Just a fancy flash after they're saying farewell, Rockman. You do not want to keep fighting me after I get 5 basketballs over your head. First blood to the Darius. And this, like I mentioned earlier, if Darius is left alone in this lane, is able to get a lead. Well, actually, I need to switch these guys up because they are in different lanes. If Darius is able to get a lead, they don't even need to be the ones starting the fights because all of blue team is melee. And even though Gangplank is really the only attack damage on their team, because Gangplank does so much by himself and the especially with his armor penetration off the powder kegs, that's a lot of their pretty high damage overall. So if Darius is able to survive all of their burst, and he might just be completely cleaving through the fights. Meanwhile, Elise is actually going to start a gank here. Meanwhile, Bard going to be landing the Cosmic Bind to stun them. Nightcrawler seeing if he can try to juke the stun. He's actually just going to go in on the SKT Challenger. He's doing a lot of damage, but a 2v1 is just a little too hard. It seems like, oh man, the huge dunk coming out. Oh, Walker takes a hit from the turret. Nightcrawler gets one inning again. Double kill. Oh my gosh. 4 minutes, 40 seconds in. He's level 5. He's 15 CS ahead, and he has 3 kills on the board already. Look at that. He has broken 2,000 gold, whereas Malphite still only has 950. This is looking to be a little disastrous. And you can see Greg's going to try to see if he can actually get the bottom lane ahead. Again, Leona goes in without the Mordekaiser. A good intention, but executed not in sync at all. Is Psycho Bear going to be able to get the reset onto Leona? Yes, he does. He should be able to jump onto Mordekaiser. That's going to be the double kill. A really late exhaust from Mordekaiser. Comes out when he's at 10 HP. Means that it'll be completely useless. And this is great bait, mate. This is your game to lose now. You are so far ahead already. Look at that, 2,000 gold by the 5-minute mark, and even Speedy Turtle coming through with that. Oh my gosh, a flash top by Gangplank Bomb. Gonna be able to abuse the fact that Gangplank just ate his oranges, remove that scurvy. Well, sorry, buddy, but you got scurvy again. Go back to the seas, you salty dog. He gets killed in the mid lane. Now, SKT Challenger at least saying, we're just trying to pull an NA here. Well, you're almost there. Once you... My gosh. Red Team has had 1 kill per minute this game. My gosh. This is getting crazy. I love Brodog saying, can they just open mid at this point? This is looking really rough. I mean... Team 10 wants to be able to get that early lead, especially in the bottom lane, but now that Tristan's up 2-0, Bard has been pretty good at peeling, and Leona's engages haven't really been very well communicated with Brodog, so I don't know if that's going to happen. Now Warcrest is staying alive in this lane for the moment. Nightcrawler still has 500 gold to spend. He did buy the Phage Ruby Crystal already versus Malphite's Potion. Malphite got a couple potions from going back, and Darius got a Phage plus a Ruby Crystal plus a potion and a Stealth Word. So Malphite just wants to stay at the turret and try to find a miracle to stay in this lane alive. Actually, Elise getting engaged on. I think the charm landed there. Ganked by Mama, abusing the fact that SK Challenger is still level 5. And a teleport coming in from the Nightcrawler now. He's going to be ganking down here. A great apprehend, gets 2 of them. 1 dunk comes out. Where's the other one? They don't even need to dive this turn, but they're going to do it anyway. Getting a little bit greedy here. Is Nightcrawler going to stay alive? His Decimate does not heal him enough. Mordekaiser gets the shutdown gold, but they can still get Dragon off of this. Elise used her flash to try to escape from gank by Mom. Actually failed to go over the wall there, unfortunately. But that means that she really doesn't want to try to face check this Dragon. Bard is even going to be clearing out this pink ward. He is so bold right here. He's pretty low in terms of health, but he's not afraid at all. Honestly, he probably should be, because Elise that's behind is still an Elise, and she could have completely burst Bard down if she were trying to defend that, especially with a roam from the Gangplank, who now has his ultimate. Did he actually use that? Looks like it's on cooldown, so maybe Gangplank did not have the ultimate, but I think Elise is just trying to stop the bleeding at this point, along with the rest of her Team 10. So hopefully they're able to kind of... Oh, speaking of bleeding, look at the Nightcrawler. He deals so much damage with that Decimate. Malphite hasn't been able to build any armor whatsoever, and he's just tanking turret shots like they're... Oh my... Like they're nothing. Basketballs, essentially. And Bard still... this bottom lane, I do like the fact that they're still playing a little passively. They don't want to try to throw anything away. Bard is respecting Leona's distance, but a good hit from Leona. Finally, Mordekaiser does apply some of that pressure of his own, and that will harass Tristana down a little bit. We'll see if Gragas comes down to help him out at all, or if they want to continue to keep abusing the top lane for Team 10, because Great Bait Mate's Nightcrawler is 4-1 right now. Oh, max range! Zenith Blade lands on the Speedy Turtle. I don't think Mordekaiser are going to be able to get that, get in range for that. And now they're actually continuing to go for the CS here. They take that double stun damage, and a good juke from that Tempered Fate. Maybe he should have waited for the rest of the team to get a little closer, or... Oh my gosh, they're all just wasting their ultimates here. What they could have done is just had Gragas come through, use the Tempered Fate on the turret, and then walk over and kill them. But instead they let 2 kills pretty much walk out of their hands, so maybe they're getting a little antsy in their pantsy for some blood and money there. But it turns out they're still ahead in the game. Spoilers. And Tristan is even going to get damage on this turret. She's up 700 gold. Ari is up 300 gold. And Darius is up almost 2,000. Now, the fact that Darius had roam down there to try to get that kill, even though the dragon wasn't up, means that Malphite is probably going to be able to answer with a turret of his own. Oh, that's actually really rough. He's not able to answer with a turret of his own. And now he has to go back because Darius is coming. Oh, man. He's looking for the rock blood. Pops the Q early. So he's not really able to use that. So he's just going to go back to farming. Actually, Elise is here too. Are they going to be able to turn that around? Good awareness by him. He's actually more aware than I was of that mini-map. But, oh! The ultimate comes out from Malphite. And the gameplay Cannon Barrage. But here is Bard. Is Speedy Turtle going to allow him to get away? No! One ultimate comes out. And then procs the Darius passive for the second one. Greg is coming in saying, thank you very much. Go back to the base with your one death feeder. I'm going to pick up this kill, and Blue team does get the turret in the top lane, but at what cost? Darius is going to continue to be ahead, and now that they know that Bard's on the top side, they're actually going to go all in here. Unfortunately, a really good flash reaction by Psycho Bear means that they can't even clean that up, and Tristana gets the 1v2 kill. Gragas throws out his ultimate again. That's the second ultimate I've seen. I mean, if he was just trying to disengage, I suppose that's fine, so they can get the turret, but I feel like he probably could have used that aggressively to get the kill on the Gangplank, so maybe he needs a little bit more practice with some of those explosive casks. Bard warding really deeply into the enemy jungle, as he should be doing at this point. They even have a pink ward near that inner turret for the Team 10. And Bard again roaming to the top side to try to gank for Darius. He have his ultimate back up? Yes, he does. He does not have exhaust, but look, Darius is just having his way with the rock, man. And once he shoves into turret, this is going to be really bad for Malphite. Elise is actually coming up in response to prepare for that, but a good Bard ward spots her out, and now this should be... Oh no, Nightcrawler walking a little too close to the turret, but this means Malphite really can't get away. He does have his ultimate, so is he going to try to juke them and get away with the ultimate? I don't know. He's going to go into the bush. They're just sitting there wasting some time. Leona's saying, I'm not even going to bother going up there. You're a lost cause, buddy. And the apprehend does miss, but he still lands the ultimate. Fun fact, if you actually flash away from the Darius ultimate and you're still in vision, it'll land. But if you flash and then you become out of vision, like if you go into a bush, then the ultimate will get canceled. Leona uses her solar flare, but Ari has other ideas in mind. A great cocoon coming out, actually locks up GBM. I think he might go down here. Yes, SKE Challenger does pick up that kill. Another explosive cast pretty much whiffs completely, and that means that Gangplank might be able to get the kill here. No, he does jump over, but the Nightcrawler kills Mordekaiser on the bottom side. Really poor game for the AD carry on Team 10. Unfortunately, so far, and Malphite even goes down. I think he blew his teleport for that. Is Speedy Turtle gonna die? He is so quick. Look at him bouncing around over there. I've never seen a turtle phase through walls like that, but it's enough for him to get away. This game is getting really exciting, possibly because it's getting really sloppy, but that makes it a little more fun. Oh, is Darius gonna find someone? Don't tell anyone. Nobody was in that bush. But, yeah, so Dragon is back up. We can take, finally, a little bit of a breather. And, I Love Brodog saying, actually, no, just Brodog won, saying that he thinks Bard is the MVP of this game. I mean, Bard does have an infinite KDA, and before that last kill, he was James Bond himself, 007. We'll see if Bard continues to play pretty well. Unfortunately, that last Tempered Fate wasn't communicated in the best way with Darius, because he still got clipped by that. Is Ninja Labib going to steal the dragon? No, he is not. Now, Speedy Turtle, he's so aggressive here. Team 10 is just so afraid to try to engage and punish this, and they should be. Darius does not have his teleport, but Tristana is still 5-0, so pretty much nothing going well for SKT Challenger and friends. Bard just having his way with the blue side walls, putting portals on him wherever he wants. So Malphite gonna try to be building up his Sunfire Cape. Eventually, that will give him important ability to push the lane a little more, so he can kind of keep it out of turret pressure. But oh, here comes a Bard. I don't know if that Tempered Fate was really what you want there. Now, Nightcrawler is busy 2v4ing with his friend Speedy Turtle. A good Malphite ultimate actually gets both of them up. Here comes Gank by Mom, but a little bit too late. After the Bard ultimate, they should have respected the fact that the rest of Blue Team was coming. But speaking of that, Blue Team should have respected the fact that more Red Team was coming after getting that one kill, and they are paying the price. A great explosive cast comes out on that time. Brodog's trying to use his ultimate on Gragas, but it looks like Gragas' happy hour passive heals him just enough to get out of there alive. Meanwhile, Tristana just autoing the turret of Team 10. G R8B8M8 is picking this map apart. Ahri solo pushing at 30% health against a Mordekaiser, while Tristana is just solo pushing without any wards whatsoever because all of blue team is on the top side. So unfortunately, blue team has tried to make things work, and that engage might not have been so poor, or that fight might not have gone so poorly, but they just kind of are not used to playing at such a deficit. So once they got a little bit of the jump on red team after getting that first kill, they really needed to hightail it out of there. And if that kill took too long, they really should have just accepted the fact that they can't go for these kinds of plays. But I can't really fault them for going for something so high risk, because that's really what they need right now to be able to get back into this game. Nightcrawler is bodying the entirety of Team 10. He gets an apprehend on 2 people, but a good solo fire actually stuns him up. He does get 4 people with that decimate. That will heal him a lot. 25% of his missing health per player hit. Ahri is ganking yet again, and actually this has been a bit of a recurring theme. That Timber Fate doesn't hit anyone. Ahri walking into the middle of the team, kind of sloppy there, but it doesn't matter because Tristana is here too, and she is so far ahead as well. Psycho Bear jumping in, gets 1 kill. Is Bard going to get himself 1? No, he stays killless so far in the game. But yeah, blue team continues to try to go for these high-risk plays, trying to engage on the rest of the G R8B8M8, but they're in such a deficit. It would take a miracle for them to actually pull off a 5v5. And even though Darius has played fantastically this game on this Darius 7-3 with twice the amount of gold Malphite has at 18 minutes, just that stat alone is incredible. But he is engaging with Bard a little bit prematurely, or maybe not prematurely, but Gank by Bomb hasn't really been there at the start of all these engages, so a little better communication might prove to be a little more fruitful. Warcrest getting 1 kill for himself. He's like, don't worry, now Bard's the only one without a kill in the game. What a noob he is. I'm just kidding, man. Bard just played very well. Unfortunately, that last ultimate didn't really hit, but he has had such good positioning and being able to constantly land Cosmic Bindings, knowing when he can use his Magical Journey to put in some deep wards. And now he's just popping the exhaust onto Brodog, lands the auto attack Meep slow, and then gets the Cosmic Binding for an additional slow. The Nightcrawler going to be in the middle of this jungle here just to make sure he can't escape or get help from the rest of his team. That's another kill to Tristana. 3 times the amount of kills G R8B8M8 has so far. Unfortunately, Mordekaiser is not able to get out of that one. And now Warcrest is going in, but here comes Speedy Turtle. A good Cosmic Binding, a 4-man ultimate on the Tempered Fate. That means that red team can get the fight that they want. Nightcrawler wasn't really in the middle of all of them. I think he wanted to get that 4-man apprehend, but that they do still pick up Malphite, and they will not have that primary engage to start any fights. They're actually pinging Baron right now, and Baron is a good call because it's so far ahead, but they really don't have the vision control for it. They have a lot of deep wards to spot blue team coming in, but they want to be able to clear these so that Team 10 really feels dangerous trying to check. And you can see that they pop the Talisman of Ascension, but because they have not used sweepers on those wards, Team 10 can just kind of back away. And I've been talking about how far behind Team 10 is. But those Gangplank barrels still hurt massively. A good charm landing from Gank by Mom. Unfortunately, Orb of Deception does not. And the rest they're just trying to stay grouped, because if nothing else, they have the potential to have great AoE wombo combo with their ultimates. They also have the top lane pushing in with a ton of minions, so Darius is going to have to answer those. He has teleport, but at the moment, G R8B8M8 doesn't have any deep wards for him to teleport into, so if Elise tries to go over the wall with repel over the wall or flash to try to steal it, she might be able to do so. They're going to go for a little bit of a safer play after a lot of those high-risk ones earlier didn't pay off. Going for a safer play to just kind of sit back, see if you can stun the Bard is very acceptable. for her to do. And Malphite just trying to catch up in some way. Even if he does have the Ninja Taba and Sunfire, but there's such a good mix of damage with the Bard putting in a little bit of damage, Gragas putting in some of that percent max health damage, and Ari putting in a lot of damage of her own, that it just makes it that much harder for Team 10 to stay alive. And a Tempered Fate actually going to be thrown out from Bard. Is the rest of the team here to help? If Gragas lands a good Explosive Cask, it might be enough for the Nightcrawler to follow up with an Apprehend. I don't know if they're going to be able to get it. Here comes GBM on the side. Are they going to be able to flank? No, Mordekaiser does spot her out, and so they will back off yet again. Are there any wards for the blue side? Actually, here comes the Gangplank's Cannon Barrage, and the Nightcrawler gets exhausted and engaged on by Leona. The rest of red side is not here. Here comes Ari, actually, but Tristan is not in this fight. Where is the Nightcrawler and his damage? Looks like he's going to be going on to Brodog so far, but really good kiting back and forth by GR8B8M8 means that they're actually able to have a favorite in the fight so far. They need to back off right now, however, because here comes Tristana, and she is looking for resets. Unfortunate, the flash does not work over the turret, and a good reaction by Brodog keeps him alive for the fight. This should mean that at least the center turret goes down. I don't think they're healthy enough to quite do Baron. Wow, another really good cocoon from Elise. And is Gangplank's passive going to be able to get the kill? No! Somebody just popped their flash. I don't know who that was. Might have been Darius. But anyways, no more kills coming out at the end of that fight. ZX Madness and SKT Challenger just making sure that they don't try anything too risky like a Baron. And they will respect that Leona engage. Ever since the lane phase, Ninja Labib has had some pretty good targeting, trying to lock down the main threats in the fights. And that fight, she did go on to Darius and exhausted Darius, but Ari kind of joined the fight a little bit later, so better than doing nothing. And you can see Elise lands another max range cocoon, but I don't know if it's really going to be enough because Tristana is just autoing on the backline. The stun hits Gragas with the solar flare, and here comes Darius and Tristana. Reset City, boys! Is this going to be enough? Slam dunk number 1! Nope. Actually, no slam dunks. Because I believe that was Gragas and Tristan who got the kill. So, sorry Darius, no Space Jam for you just at the moment, but we've already seen you get plenty of points in the game. A little bit of a BM Tempered Fate from Speedy Turtle. Knows that Team 10 can't really do anything about it. They're way back at base. They even have this bottom lane pushing in, but... Oh, well, actually, there's Gameplay. He killed Darius! I'm looking at the bottom lane! What the heck? That BM Tempered Fate actually proves to be fatal for his top lane compadre. And really good awareness from ZX Madness, knowing that he does still do tons of damage. He has the BF Sword and the Pickaxe. Once you finish that Infinity Edge, it'll just continue to increase, and he can even get the Static Shiv. And because the Powder Kegs apply your all the on-hit effects of your last auto to it, or the Parlay, it does even apply the Static Shiv bonus. So those would still be huge. And you can see Darius actually has 0 armor items. He's been laning against the Malphite and been getting engaged on by Elise and Leona. So he has completely ignored ZX Madness, and that might be the one opportunity Team 10 has for this. Elise has hit every single clutch cocoon that I've seen so far. She's hit several that I thought were not even possible. Leona has had pretty strong engages. Sometimes a little bit disjointed, but pretty decent overall. So if Gangplank can set up some barrels and ignore 40% of Darius' armor, which he doesn't even have bonus armor. Actually, SKT Challenger getting engaged on, but the rest of his team is already here to follow up. They do see Darius back there trying to clear out that ward coverage, so he's going to relax a little with that War Crest. What are you doing, buddy? Oh no, he's the ultimate defensively. That means that Darius is going to come in. 1 dunk, 2 dunk. The double dunk Alright, this means that an easy siege for the turret is coming up, but they're actually BMing and get stunned under the turret. It might be too much though. Brodog doing what he can, but look, ZX Madness instantly kills one person. They actually get Tristana too. Now Blue Team actually has the favor in this fight. They really cannot duel Elise and Gangplank, because both those champions are pretty slippery. They dodged the charm, and SKT Challenger lands yet another cocoon. ZX Madness gonna be continuing to fight, but Speedy Turtle and Gragas just simply don't do enough damage. Look at that crit! He gets the auto attack bonus. Is he going to be able to continue for another kill? No, not quite, but they're actually going to go for a Baron. They have Malphite backup. His ultimate should be coming off cooldown relatively shortly. It's already halfway up, so it'll be back up in 1 minute. They're going to be going for the Baron. They're 12,000 gold down, but was this the throw that Team 10 needed? I don't know. There's one Gangplank barrel just to make sure in case Gragas comes over. Okay, no, he's just using that to kill Baron even more quickly. SKT Challenger misses the first cocoon of the game. Actually, Gragas comes in, but they do clean that up, and they get the kill onto Gragas. So, Psycho Bear, look at, oh my gosh, what's Darius doing? He is getting so aggro in here. He gets one dunk, the double dunk, the triple dunk. Is there the quadra? Oh, he flashes forward, he gets a movement speed. SKT Challenger, quadra kill. Unfortunately, ZX Madness not going to be part of this party. He has had enough of giving his booty away, and Nightcrawler wants it. I said before in Champion Select, if there was a game to find a Darius Penta, it would be this one, because they're all melee champions, but Gangplank comes out and gets 2 kills back immediately. You can see he actually goes for the brutalizer now. He's just going out to Gangbang Mom. That's it. Oh my gosh, he just auto cues him. Parlay, he is coming after that booty, getting all that bonus gold. And I actually don't know if it shows. Okay, so he got the Fire at Will one as his first cannon upgrade, which is fairly interesting. I'll come back to that in a second because another fight's going on. This game has been so fast-paced and quite frankly kind of sloppy, but a good Temper Fate means that they might be able to get out of here pretty safely. Nightcrawler is going to be teleporting in. Again, this is a really aggressive engage. Tristana is not here to follow up. Is this going to be worth it, though? They are getting completely surrounded. That might be what Nightcrawler wants. Is he going to get another kill? They get CX Madness down. That's going to be Leona going down, too, as well. Tristana is almost here, and that's going to be the triple kill for Gragas. Kills all around. You get one. You get a kill. You get a kill. Oh, my gosh. Earlier in this game, Red Team had 1 kill per minute, and I thought that was incredible at the 6-minute mark. Right now they have 40 kills in 30 minutes. What was their answer to possibly throwing the game by fighting too much? Let's fight even more and pick even more aggressive engages. But the most important thing here is that Darius finally has a Randuin's Omen. Not only will that give him health and armor just to simply survive the flat damage that Gangplank is throwing out here, but because of Randuin's Omen's new unique passive that you guys may or may not remember, it actually reduces damage from critical strikes by 10%, which is a huge part of Gangplank's kit. So being able to do that is so huge, and Speedy Turtle did opt to go for the Zeke's Harbinger, which I do prefer over the Frozen Heart, but that means that somebody should get a Frozen Heart here against the Gangplank. And Mordekaiser, but actually, oh my god, I don't know what was happening in that camera angle, I'm sorry about that. But Gragas does get engaged on, luckily. Nobody dies for either side. Gragas is going to get back, but now Blue Team actually has control of the map, of their side of the map for like the first time in the game. Unfortunately, Bard still doesn't have a kill. What a true support, man. 0, 2, and 24. If nothing else, we got to give him a hand for helping out whenever they need him. And Ari, ganked by Mom, trying to throw out any charms he can. But Elise is not even near this fight. I don't know what she's doing. we need his cocoons, but he's just sitting at base. Alright, he does come back out. He has the elixir of iron. And Leona has matched with her own Zeke's Harbinger. So that's kind of interesting. I guess she wants to put that on the gangplank. We'll see if they go. Another cocoon lands on the Speedy Turtle. But is that going to be a stun from Boyd? Oh, man. Nightcrawler really wants to hook someone over. But at least finally, or not finally, but thankfully repelled safe enough away. But Psycho Bear does so much damage. Darius actually going to go in onto Ninja Low Beam. He gets a dunk. The rest of his team was not there to follow up. They need to engage if they don't want to give up this inhibitor for free. But it looks like they'll do just that, unfortunately. They have a huge wave in the bottom side. And I do want to point out that the Zeke's Harbinger, I think, is actually on Brodog, which is not who you want it to go to. Because even though Mordekaiser does do insane amounts of damage, that damage comes... Sorry, my throat's getting a little dry, but that damage actually comes out of... that's magic damage that comes from his Q, so getting critical strike on Mordekaiser really doesn't help you much at all. And when you have the Zeeks, you want to just give it to somebody who synergizes with crit even better. So Gangplank really should be the primary target here. Brodog does have the Starax gauge to give him some higher base damage, but he's most of his it's just Mordekaiser does focus a lot more on magical, so you really want to go to that AD carry in Gangplank. Now we are approaching final builds. Darius probably has the most money in the game right now. Yes, he does. He has the first component of his last item, and now actually there's going to be a sneaky little bait here. We'll see if Great Bait Mate gets baited by that bait. Looks like it will not be great though, because they're going to back off from that. Dragon isn't even up, so there's no real reason for anyone on the red side to try to check that out. So, I don't know what Bard's... Hello? Alright, okay. He was just chilling in that bush, trying to catch his breath as well, because this game has been so action-packed, where finally the minutes are starting to catch up to the number of kills on red side. It'll still be quite a while before they match the number of total kills in the game. And let's just take a second to appreciate the fact that Blue Team hasn't lost, even though they're down 26 kills. 26 kills is more kills total that minigames have than and that's how much of a deficit they're in. That's 14,000 gold in terms of flat numbers. But oh no, Malphite's pushing this wave out a little too much. Nightcrawler gets caught out though as well. I don't think he's in the state where he can 1v4 anymore. He's actually about to go down, but a huge Tempered Fate completely stops that. He might have been able to get... No, that Gangplank ult would have slowed him down. So, Bard really coming in clutch here. And now the Nightcrawler gets a little too close yet again. He's going to pop instantly. Tristana trying to charge up her Zeke's Harbinger. But now Ari comes from the side. He gets Ninja Levine. Is he going to be able to get Gangplank? Yes, the Elise Cocoon actually missed that one time. And that is going to be the fight because of it. Although the fight was already pretty much lost at that point. So... Oh my! Hello, have you met my hammer? The hammer is my penis, but that does mean red team is going to be able to clean up that fight despite losing Ari to that Q, and Elise has to deal with his bottom lane. So we had seen a little bit of lull in the action, which is I think was correct, because you saw that they had set up this bottom lane and everyone was rotating to the top side just to siege this, while Darius or even just the minions were able to siege this bottom side of the map. So red team was setting up that play correctly. However, the Nightcrawler, we've seen this is probably the third or fourth time that he's gotten pretty far extended and just tried to 1v3. Oftentimes he can survive until his support or somebody else comes to help him out, but that time he was not really able to until and he actually went down. Fortunately, they still won the fight because Psycho Bear just has so much money here, and the Mordekaiser is just not able to output as much consistent damage as in a traditional AD carry, because you have just the range factor, you're able to get kited. You're liable to get kited so much more than the Tristana. Also, really important that Elise did not land the cocoon on the Gangplank, and Gangplank died to Ganked by Mom. So the Dyrus and Gangplank died for each other's sins, but Red Team still had the Tristana to back him up. And now they have Baron buff. Ahri is actually going to be the one split pushing here instead of the Darius, which is kind of interesting, but Darius does have a huge frontline presence, so that will keep Tristana pretty safe. And Bard throws out the Tempered Fate. That means Darius can go onto Ninja Lobby by himself. That's going to be one dunk. Explosive Cast, not really quite hitting the target. Going to be saving him even. But Warcrest going down. Double dunk number 2. Is that going to be the triple dunk? He has all 5 stacks, but oh my gosh, that powder keg damage. ZX Man is doing everything he can at this point, but he just cannot survive the damage from the basketball man himself. That's a double kill for the Tristana. Ace from Gang by Mom. He even killed his counterpart up there, or wherever she was. That's going to be the game. Great baitmate sets it up and follows through. Probably much longer game than they expected, but they won nonetheless, and they won so hard that Nexus actually exploded twice, I believe. Yeah, it did. I just watched the replay on Twitch, so wow, what a game. That was really chaotic. Darius 19 and 8. The 8 kills does kind of say a story about him getting a little bit aggressive at times, but look at the damage. Ahri actually pulled through the most damage for Great Baitmate, and that's kind of interesting. But Gangplank being able to cleave through the entire armored stockpiles of defenses for the red side, really, he was a saving grace in the end of those fights in terms of damage. So we saw Mordekaiser really struggle throughout that game ever since falling behind. So also, he actually rushed the Rylai's, and I didn't even pick up on that in-game, but you really want to get the Trinity Force first because the Phage will allow you to continue to stick on your target with the Zeal movement speed as well. And the Sheen, of course, is always a great buy for anyone that relies on Auto Attack Burst, and that is the entire Mordekaiser kit, Auto Attack Burst. Importantly, we also saw no Mordekaiser Dragons, which means Blue Team really never had any good turret pressure throughout the game. But yeah, unfortunately, for the blue side, pretty much all their lanes fell behind a little bit. I do want to give very special mention to those Elise cocoons because they were on point. And Commander Warcrest saying that you don't go Trinity Force first, which is... oh, okay. Well, I would be interested to know why you disagree. Obviously, I myself am actually not very highly ranked, so it's very possible that I was incorrect, but thank you for pointing that out. So, yeah, very well played by both teams. Bard especially had really on-point ults most of the game, and consistently was able to land Cosmic Bindings. And you can see this bottom lane only had 4 deaths in between the two of them, which is fewer deaths than any single member on the blue side. So really well played by Psycho Bear and Speedy Turtle, knowing their limits in that. Psycho Bear saying, "Don't trust the Nightcrawler." Well, I mean, if you think about the name, just the Nightcrawler. That sounds kind of suspicious, man. I don't know what crawls around during the night, but I sure as heck don't trust it at all. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Does this mean Brodog isn't going to play again? No! This is only the first week of the, we're actually doing group stages for the Capital One circuit. You guys can, I will link it in chat. That's actually, we're doing group stages, so this is the first week. There will still be 2 more weeks of games for every team playing And then the top teams from each group will advance into the playoff bracket. So, yep, you still will be able to see if Brodog 2 comes back. I'm sure Brodog 1 wants to see Brodog 2 pull through with the win. And that's what I mentioned in Champion Select. Even though Mordekaiser is a really strong champion, you need to know how to actually play with it. And it looked like the bottom lane was a little bit disjointed for the red side, or for the blue side. Sorry, red side was they were pretty comfortable with each other. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed the cast. It was pretty fun, and I'll see you later.